big week this week. Bill Connolly's returning production numbers came out. And we had a question about it, which I was hoping for, because we always dive into this time of year. A lot of the teams that I end up circling, I circle because I comb through Bill Connolly's numbers. It's on ESPN.com right now. He does a lot of work on this. I don't work for the same company he does, but always like to promote good work. So he does his returning production numbers every year. So a few of the teams I circled, like Clemson, has the most returning production in America this year. Now, that's not number of returning starters. It's snaps, like returning amount of snaps. 81% of theirs return. They're the number one returning production offense in the country. They've got 8 starters back, quarterbacks back, wide receivers are back. 13 of their 18 players with 200-plus snaps on defense are back. So love where Clemson's at. I've spoken a couple of times the past few weeks about how I think this year is almost like immune a little bit from the overall concern I have about them. 2026 and beyond, I have concern about Clemson, but 2025, they are the favorite to win the ACC. They should be. Over in the Big 12, got to like what you're looking at with Arizona State and Texas Tech. Arizona State is the number 2 team in returning production, according to Bill Connolly. Texas Tech's number 4. So at Arizona State, they get Levitt back at quarterback. They got Jordan Tyson back. They're number 2 overall in defensive returning production. So it's a crazy conference. It's a very randomized, variance-laden conference in the Big 12. But there are some themes. There are threads woven in that could be a little clue as to who's going to make a run here. Texas Tech, they just loaded up in the portal. They just opened. Did you see the facilities at Texas Tech? Did you see that building? We have prioritized a trip out to Lubbock. I haven't been there since a church mission trip circa like 2002, so I'm long overdue. Lubbock, Texas, and Rockford, Illinois. I'm long overdue for return trips to both cities, and Rockford doesn't really have a good team right now. The Peaches are an afterthought, and so I got to go to Lubbock to see Texas Tech. But number 1 returning production team on defense, Texas Tech. Boom. What about Illinois? Let me cut in really quick and ask, look, prayer hands, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you think you're subscribed, check and make sure. Over 50% of you aren't. It's free, it doesn't sign you up for anything, and it helps us keep the show free, college football year-round, the way God intended it. All right, back to the clip. So earlier in the show, we talked about Illinois having a really good scheduling draw in the Big Ten. Well, guess what? They're number 3 in returning production in the country. They are top 10 on offense and defense, returning production. Luke Altmaier at quarterback is among those players who are returning. 5 of their 6 primary offensive linemen return. They were 5-1 in one-possession games last year. So you just get a bunch of guys who know how to win close games back again. Have you heard the allegations that we are becoming Illini homers? Has anyone heard that? Has Brett Bielema heard that? Because he popped off with those clown emojis last week, and we really haven't heard anything since we've been heaping praise on Illinois. You know, it's almost like when we speak positively about teams, we get ignored, and the radar only goes up, the antenna only goes up when we say something not even negative, but just critical. It could all be in my mind. In the SEC, A&M and Vandy and Oklahoma were the ones that I circled. They're all top 10. Those are the SEC teams that are top 10 in returning production. Now, I'm going to say something quietly, very quietly, because I don't want to create a panic. This is going to be a pretty hot take, so bear with me. It is my belief that Oklahoma could be either very good or very bad this year. Pause for effect. Yes, so that's the hot take with Oklahoma. Now, on the plus side, they get a lot on defense back. If that quarterback offensive coordinator transfer combo clicks, Oklahoma could surprise a lot of people. On the downside, they play like an NFL schedule this year. So there's that. They have, you're going to have to bear with me, Colin. They have the 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. They got the 12th best odds to win the SEC. So FanDuel, not exactly what you would call sold on Oklahoma yet, but returning production looks good. Texas A&M, number 6 overall in returning production. Quarterback, 60 of 65 offensive line starts. That's really what you're looking at there. And some of the areas on defense that they were a little deficient in, they addressed those with the portal. And there are 2 G5s in the top 10. Kennesaw is one of them. The other one's Boise. There's going to be a lot talked about this week about Ashton Jeanty and the NFL Combine and this and that, and he left Boise State. Pretty much everyone else came back. So they look like the favorite again in the G5 ranks. If you're going to pick a team that's going to, bring home that G5 auto bid, shocker, Boise again would be the favorite, which you can go bet at FanDuel right now.